But thousands of Iranians living outside the country are saying the exact opposite. They are calling it a good thing that could finally open the door to freedom. This news is moving fast and it affects the whole world. I am going to explain every single part in easy words so you understand it all, even if you only check the news once in a while. No big terms, just the real story from what is happening right now. Stick with me because this could change peace talks, oil prices, and the lives of millions. Let us start from the beginning so it all makes sense. Back at the end of February 2026, the war between Israel, the United States, and Iran kicked off after big strikes. In those first attacks, Iran lost its supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. That left the country without its main boss. Who stepped up? Ali Larijani. He was the secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council. That is the top group that makes decisions on safety and big threats for the whole nation. Larijani was 67 years old and had been in politics for many years. He used to be the Speaker of the Parliament and knew how to talk with other countries. After the Supreme Leader died, Larijani became the main person in charge, the de facto leader. He kept things running and stayed close to the old system. Then on the night of March 17th, Israeli planes hit targets near Tehran. They went after Larijani and took him out. Israel said they eliminated the target. Later, Iran's own government confirmed the news. They said Larijani died along with his son Morteza, the head of his office, and several guards. In the same wave of attacks, another key person also died, the commander of the Basij force, Gholamreza Soleimani. These hits are part of bigger strikes on Iran's leaders in important places. Iran is feeling the pressure. People around the world started talking right away. Iran got angry fast and fired missiles back at Israel the same day, some loaded with special warheads. Today they are holding funerals in Tehran at Revolution Square for Larijani and Soleimani. Crowds are there to mourn. But many regular people inside Iran feel numb. They have lived through months of protests, crackdowns, and now this war. Too much death has left them tired. Now here is the part that got everyone buzzing. On CNN's Outfront show with Aaron Burnett, they brought in a guest named Nazila Fatih. She used to work as a reporter for the New York Times in Tehran, so she knows Iran really well. In the interview, she said Larijani was the kind of person who had strong ties inside the government. He could have been the one the United States sits down with when the fighting stops and things calm down. She said without him there are not a lot of Iranians left who can do those talks. She thinks the killing could backfire on Israel and the United States. It might make future peace harder instead of easier. That clip is everywhere now and thousands of people have watched it. It sounds like a real warning, but a huge number of Iranians who live outside the country see it differently. They are replying all over social media and they are not holding back. One Iranian-American woman said Nazila Fatih has worked for the regime for years and tried to hide the bad things in her old stories. She called her someone who whitewashed the killings. Another man wrote that Larijani gave the direct order to shoot protesters just 2 months ago. That order caused the deaths of 50,000 civilians, 50,000 regular people. A different voice posted clear details that Larijani helped plan the killing of 32,000 civilians in January crackdowns. They say he was never a moderate. He was a hard man who kept the regime strong with force. Step 2, next 5,000 characters of the script. These voices from the Iranian community abroad say Larijani's death is actually a big win. They explain that the regime runs on a few key people. Taking out someone like him breaks the chain. It removes the nice face the government tried to show the world. Now the system looks weaker, and the regular people of Iran might finally rise up for real change. One reply even shared an old video where Nazila Fatih talked about the guards in a way that seemed too soft. People are saying the regime cannot last long enough for any big talks anyway. They want full freedom, not deals with the same old leaders. You can see the two sides clearly. On television, the expert worries about losing a person who could help with negotiations later. On the other side, the people who escaped the regime and watched their friends and family die say this strike tears down the wall and brings hope. This split tells us how divided the story really is right now. Let us look at what comes next. Iran has promised strong revenge. They already sent missiles toward Tel Aviv. More attacks could happen any day. Israel says they are hitting only the parts that keep the regime going, like leaders and military spots. The United States is watching every move. The whole region is on edge. Funerals are happening today while missiles fly. Inside Iran, after all the recent pain from protests and bombs, many families just feel empty. Why does this matter to you even if you live far away? Think about it. If the fighting grows, oil from the Middle East could get harder to get, and prices at the gas station might jump. More people could lose their homes or need to leave. But if these strikes keep weakening the top people, the regime might break faster and Iran could move toward a new start with more freedom. No more backing groups that cause trouble in other places. That could mean a calmer world for everyone. Larijani was also the man who handled nuclear talks in the past. Some countries saw him as someone they could work with back then, but lately his job was stopping protests and keeping control. The people remember the orders he gave. That is why so many diaspora voices say he was not the bridge for peace. He was part of the problem that hurt his own citizens. The CNN interview started a loud debate online. Is losing Larijani bad because it removes a possible talk partner? Or is it good because it speeds up the end of the suffering? The Iranians replying say the regime is too broken for real talks now. They want complete change and nothing less. One comment put it straight. Israel does not want to wait for calm. They want the old system to fall so the people can be free. As the funerals continue and the war goes on, one fact stands clear. The old way Iran was run is under heavy pressure from outside strikes and inside anger. Change is coming, one way or the other. Whether it brings talks or a full collapse, the next days will decide a lot. Step 3. Final 5,000 characters of the script. Look at the big picture again. Larijani became the main leader only after the supreme leader was gone in late February. He tried to hold everything together, but the protests and the war made it hard. His security role put him in charge of stopping the crowds, and that led to huge loss of life. The numbers are hard to hear, but reports say tens of thousands died in those months. That is why so many Iranians abroad call him a key part of the pain, not a hero for talks. Iran's president confirmed the death, and the country is in mourning mode while also planning more hits. Israel says the strikes were needed to stop bigger threats. Both sides have their reasons, and the fighting keeps going. But the voices from the Iranian people who left everything behind keep repeating the same message. This death weakens the chain of command. The regime relied on men like Larijani to stay in control. Without them, the whole thing gets shaky. For the average person watching this, it is okay to feel confused at first. One news channel says it hurts peace chances. The people who lived under the regime say it helps freedom chances. Both can be true in different ways, but the facts stay the same. Larijani is gone, confirmed by Israel and Iran. The missiles are flying, the funerals are on television, and the debate is everywhere. This story shows how one strike can shake a whole country and reach the rest of the world. Oil, safety, and hopes for a calmer Middle East are all connected. If you have family or friends anywhere near the region, you feel it. If you just care about news that affects daily life like gas prices or bigger conflicts, this matters. The Iranian diaspora keeps posting proof of Larijani's role in the crackdowns. They share pictures and old orders to show he was no moderate. At the same time, experts like Nazila Fathi point to his past work and say he could have helped later. The truth sits in the middle, but the people who suffered say the time for talks with this regime is over. They want real change now. As we wait for the next moves, keep your eyes open. Iran might hit back harder. Israel might strike more leaders. The world leaders are talking and trying to stop it from spreading. But one thing feels sure after yesterday. The pressure on Iran's old system is bigger than ever. Whether it leads to negotiations or something new inside the country, the coming weeks will be important for everyone.